Did you know there's a legend about a Simpsons episode so disturbing that fans claimed it was erased from history? The story says it was a lost season 1 episode called Dead Bart, and nobody who worked on the show would even talk about it. According to the creepypastas, someone tracked down the episode after receiving a mysterious download link from Matt Groening himself. The file supposedly destroyed their computer, but it contained the missing episode. It begins like a normal episode, until Bart is sucked out of an aeroplane window. What is left of him is shown in an almost realistic style, while the rest of the episode follows Homer, Marge, and Lisa as the animation falls apart. At the end, the family visits Bart's grave, where every Simpsons guest star has their own tombstone, complete with a death date. Some supposedly match celebrities who have already died. Dead Bart is one of the internet's most famous creepypastas, but it's so creepy enough people still believe that it happened. Would you watch it if it actually existed? Did you know one of the creepiest horror games isn't actually a horror game? Back on the Nintendo 3DS, Animal Crossing New Leaf let players visit each other's town through something called the Dream Suite. Most players built cute little villages with flowers and cafes, but one player created Ica Village. At first everything looks normal. There's a birthday party, cozy houses, and adorable villagers. Then, things go wrong. You'll find a room full of dolls staring at you, blood-soaked custom designs, graves, furniture arranged to look like a crime scene. And the scariest part? Nobody ever tells you what's happening. The entire story is hidden in the environment. It slowly feels like you're uncovering the aftermath of a tragedy. And a possessed doll, just like Annabelle, may be involved. Fans have spent years trying to figure out the real story. Some think Ica is a little girl who survived something terrible. Others think she's a killer. Some believe she is possessed by the doll, and some believe the whole village is just a metaphor for grief and trauma. The creator has never confirmed any theory. If you want to experience Ica Village for yourself, it is being remade in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Though the town is not exactly the same, you can still visit that one right now. Would you explore Ica Village, or would you turn around the second things got weird? Let me know in the comments. One of Pokemon's darkest urban legends is the story of Buried Alive. According to the legend, Buried Alive was supposed to be the final boss hitting atop Lavender Town's Pokemon Tower. Instead of reaching the top of Pokemon Tower and finding your rival, you were supposed to find the Buried Alive model. But Buried Alive wasn't a Pokemon trainer. It was a rotting corpse, half buried in the ground using 2 white hands, a Gengar and a Muck. He would say, then the battle would start. But here's the creepiest part. If you beat it, nothing happened. The game was just supposed to freeze. There was never meant to be a way to win. But if you lost, Buried Alive would say, then it would drag your character underground before cutting to a game over screen. Except in the background you'd see the Buried Alive model eating your character. And according to the legend, that image didn't just disappear. It would overwrite your Game Boy startup screen. So every time you turned on the console, you would see your player being eaten. A man's dead girlfriend keeps messaging him on Facebook. In 2012, a man named Nate lost his girlfriend Emily in a tragic car accident. 13 months later, something impossible happened. She sent him a message on Facebook. Maybe a friend had hacked her account, but then he noticed something disturbing. The messages were not new. They were old conversations between him and Emily, copied word for word, things only the two of them would understand. Emily's account started tagging itself in new photos. The tags appeared in places where she would normally stand, like she was trying to show him she was still there. Nate changed the password, contacted Facebook, and even tried to find whoever was behind it. But nobody had logged into the account except for him. Then one day he got a new message. Instead of copying old conversations, the account said one strange word: freezing. Emily died trapped inside a freezing car. Was someone pretending to be Emily? Or was his dead girlfriend actually trying to contact him? Let me know what you think in the comments. In 1959, 9 hikers died in the Ural Mountains, leading to one of history's biggest mysteries. The group were all experienced trekkers, so when they suddenly disappeared, a search party was sent out. What they found made no sense. Their tent had been sliced open from the inside. It looked like they fled in the middle of the night, barefoot, into freezing snow. The temperature was -30. The first bodies were found beneath a tree, dressed in little more than underwear. Others were scattered across the mountainside, as if they had been trying to make it back to camp. But the last 4 victims had injuries that shocked the investigators. One had a crushed chest. Another had a fractured skull. One woman was missing her tongue. And yet, there were almost no external wounds. Over the years, people have blamed everything from avalanches to military experiments to secret weapons, even UFOs. More recently, researchers have suggested a rare type of avalanche could explain what happened. But not everyone is convinced. More than 65 years later, the Dyatlov Pass incident is still one of the world's most chilling unsolved mysteries. The Minecraft hacker you cannot escape. They say there's an old Minecraft legend, a mysterious hacker known only as Entity 303. According to the story, a group of friends spent 8 months building an enormous survival city on their private server. Then the impossible happened. The server log showed some player named player.number.303 had executed the /stop command. But there was one problem. No one else was on the server. At first they ignored it. Then one of the players spotted a white figure with glowing red eyes, standing silently in the desert. When they chased it, it disappeared. Moments later, one of their friends disconnected. They never heard from him again. Then the chat exploded with messages. Object successfully summoned. The players' screens began glitching. An unknown account silently joined their voice call. No username, no profile picture. Then a distorted voice whispered, "Make a wish." Minecraft froze. A ghostly player walked towards them. The chat displayed one final message: make a wish and say goodbye to your friends. The screen went black. When one of the players finally restarted his computer, everything was gone. Every file deleted. And the next day, 2 of his friends had vanished. Hung left behind a note with 3 terrifying words: make a wish. This is one of the most famous ghost photos ever taken. Known as the Girls in Manila ghost photo, this image shows 2 young girls posing for a picture in Manila, Philippines. At first glance, it looks completely normal, but next to the girls appears to be a strange figure. The mystery comes from the claim that no one was standing with the girls when the photo was taken. After the image surfaced, many believed it showed a ghostly presence, while skeptics argued it could be explained by a photographic error or a double exposure. To this day, the Girls in Manila photo remains one of the most debated paranormal images in history. Was it a real ghost, or just a trick of the camera? This haunted painting moves. This painting is said to be one of the most haunted artworks ever created. It's called The Hands Resist Him, painted in 1972 by William Stoneham. At first glance, it's unsettling. A young boy stands beside a lifelike doll. Behind a glass door, dozens of tiny hands reach out from the dark. But the real nightmare begins after people bought it. According to the legends, several people connected to the painting died not long after viewing it. Then, for years, it vanished, until it suddenly reappeared on eBay in the year 2000. The sellers claim their 4-year-old daughter kept waking up at night screaming because the boy and the doll in the painting were moving. They even said motion-activated cameras captured the boy climbing out of the painting. The listing quickly went viral. Over 300,000 people viewed it. Some even claimed they felt sick, anxious, or deeply disturbed just by looking at the image online. Years later, the artist finally explained the truth. The boy was actually himself as a child. The doll represented a guide between worlds. And the mysterious hands? They symbolized the many different lives he could have lived after being adopted. But some people still say even looking at the painting online will haunt you. But now you've seen it, does this mean that you're cursed too? The most cursed painting ever created. What if the most haunted painting in the world was created by a serial killer? Meet John Wayne Gacy. By day, he entertained children as Pogo the Clown. By night, he became one of America's most infamous serial killers, murdering 33 young men while hiding behind a mask of an ordinary citizen. While in prison, Gacy began painting landscapes, Disney characters, even portraits of Jesus. But one painting stood out above the rest, a self-portrait of Pogo the Clown. Many paranormal investigators believe evil can linger in objects once owned or created by violent people. And according to the legend, this painting is one of them. In 2001, a musician bought the painting for $3,000. Soon after, his dog died. His mother was diagnosed with cancer, and after lending a painting to a friend, one of the friend's neighbors died in a car crash, while another reportedly attempted suicide. Is it coincidence or something darker? Today, the painting is displayed in Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum, surrounded by some of history's most disturbing artifacts. If you ever come face to face with Pogo the Clown, you might not want to stare at it for too long. So do you think the painting is really haunted? Let me know in the comments and subscribe to me for more haunting facts.